think she went into the ladies' room. You know, the other day, Raleigh, you didn't have your boots on, and it's unusual. Every time I see you, you're always.
Yeah, well, it's pants, bigger pants fit better.
Oh, I get you.
But, some of the Levi's, they go over.
Because I know that's your signature style.
Yes.
It was cold out there.
Oh,
The breeze was blowing. Hi, how are you?
well, the reason why I didn't go out is because of everything blowing around. My allergies are picking up
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing, like, after Monday, I'm done singing until January.
Oh, good. You can have a rest.
Yeah, because I have the SEC men's chorus on Monday.
Oh, nice.
The women's chorus is singing tonight at UNC. They sang already at St. Andrew, and we're singing at St. Andrew on Monday.
That's nice. And then you got a break.
Yeah, we start up, the men start up the week before John's going to start us. John's not starting us up until like the 10th.
Here you're talking about? The 10th of
I don't have my phone up in the car.
January you're talking about?
Whatever the second Wednesday is, that's when she's.
Okay, but not, okay, good. That makes sense.
Dog day. The labs are here.
So how long did the rehearsal last today?
We were out but around noonish, I don't know. Because then I was busy getting getting things set up for the room, and then I came back to decorate this afternoon.
Yeah, they were doing this afternoon.
Yeah, well, and they're doing.
Did they get a lot of it done this afternoon?
Yeah, most of it. They have to string the lights on the back curtain.
That'll be what tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
You're not into the adventure?
I'm not singing. I can't commit to singing every week with them. I can't commit to sing every week. But my committee's been taking a lot of time. On call like so often. And then the board president. So I saw it in advance. I went into the calendar on the website. She got it on the same day. So basically, I'm going to tell her when I respond to her that I am just going to entertain a half an hour early because I got to prepare for my meeting.
I hear you.
So what's going on? Explain the wing.
But Donna has done so much to prepare us. There are one or two songs that we'll flub a little bits of, but nobody knows but us.
This is one thing, you know, whenever we always rehearse, if you remember, it's always, the last rehearsal was always a nightmare.
And this one wasn't, so that's what scares me.
Well,
But we're
yeah,
very prepared.
but you know why? The difference is you're doing the majority of the shows. You won't have that many breaks.
Right.
So because it's a performance, it's going to go. I find it the breaks
Yeah.
a lot of
Well, and we're not getting off the stage for the breaks. We're not getting off the rises. We're staying on stage.
She said, you know,
Well,
just
I mean, you
drop
can get off
the
it, but
steps.
like,
She said in the spring.
yeah. But we have fewer special music pieces. And today, Jerry hurt his foot, so he wasn't at rehearsal. Hugh hurt his back, he wasn't at rehearsal. And yet the guy sounds good. And then I found out Joe isn't going to be able to do sound in the spring, so we're going to see if we can get Barbara Wells to do sound. So she did sound for the BL players, and that was, according to Joe, that's more complicated than ours. We shall see.
So when are you going to sunset? After the show?
Can you find someplace with
And I'm not sure. I think somebody else is going to contact her.
keep it right here?
I mean, I can, I know her.
Sort of like sort of sounding
And now we're busy trying to select music for this spring show.
they already
My sister.
getting out music.
We'll get some right after the
We start up the first Thursday. Good thing though, Monday because when we say I couldn't see my sleeve. Dynamics. Hosting what it means to leave. We're going to be in, we're like in an alcove type setup.
This is my 100-year-old buddy I always talk about. He'll be 101 this year. He's only a kid. He can't walk, but his brain is perfect. Which is amazing. His wife just tried a year ago. They were married 77 years, and he was 20 years in World War II. He's really my hero.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah. So I thought Roland was coming in. He helps us get him in. Then he left. He went down the band.
I always have a seat there in case you want it.
Yes. Remember the bar, we gotta turn that way, and we don't sing with her when she does the
Because there's only 4 of us.
They have been warned, Rabbi.
There's only 4 of you?
They have been alerted about their part on the bar. I know. They look like last year.
Hi. All right, how are you?
By the way, I will be saying a couple things for a couple of the songs, just because we're changing slightly a couple things in it, you know, and I just want them to know. So they gave me a like. Hey, they do it. They do it at Central. We can do it here.
Yes.
We do. Not like anybody else. That's right. Okay, so Steve.
He's back there, he's in the back.
That's great. That's my mother sounds right. But then they figured that I my other
I did fall asleep for about half an hour.
the hydrant.
And then I had the social wall.
Not against it.
Well, I didn't do very much, but I have seat number 10. I had a team with me. Yeah. Was, what do they say, many hands short work? Yeah. So I went at 4 and I was out at 5. Hey, Addie.
You'll find out. Are you the jury?
Yeah, right. We the jury.
We're the Shronton Choir.
You know, I have to be careful with these men because my tempo, the front row, they have to put up what's called a modesty row.
A what row?
Modesty for women who sat in the front and wore skirts. They had to be very careful. And now they're facing me.
You are already? Not that they're not even interacting with each other.
Because I know he was really nice.
Coda.
Final code.
Happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah.
Whatever that is. Is that like whitefish salad? It's one of those different fishes.
It's like Hanukkah.
There's a lot of people I don't know here.
Yes, that's true.
Definitely a lot of people out there.
Eight.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Beth Israel. And as a reminder to, if you have a cell phone, would you please turn it off? My name is Stephen Tabin. I am president of our men's club and representing the temple board this evening on the Bima. We would like to welcome any new members and guests. And when I call your name, if you would please stand. Robert and Roberta Lavelle from Salt Lake City. Thank you. Leslie Ansell from Chicago. Joelle and Randy Lokenthal from here. Thank you. We thank you for joining us on our front lawn earlier tonight as we lit the second candle on the Hanukkah donated by the Men's Club. Tonight's service will be led by Rabbi Carla Friedman. The Shabbat candles will be lit by Barbara Grossman. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
So we're going to begin as we like to, with an opportunity to set the week behind us. And so I'm going to invite you to put your feet on the floor and your chair against the back, your back against the chair. Yes, that's probably a better way to do it. And please take this opportunity to close your eyes and just sit there for a moment. Just sit there and enjoy the opportunity to do nothing. And I invite you now to focus on your breathing in and breathing out, and do that again, breathing in and breathing out. And as you're doing that, relaxation is flooding your body. You take that in as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you let go of whatever stress you may have had this week, and just let that keep happening to you. Breathe in relaxation, breathe out the stress. Keep doing that, breathing in relaxation, breathe out the stress. And as you're breathing out the stress and thinking about breathing in relaxation, take in with you the idea that this is Shabbat. This is a very special day, a time of ceasing from obligations and trying very hard to concentrate on just being. And this is your opportunity to do that. So do that one more time. Take in a deep breath and hold it and let it go. And do that one more time. Take in a deep breath and hold it and let it go. And now I want you to just relax in your chair. Relax. Take in a deep breath and let it go, and open your eyes. Well, if you saw the emails over the course of the week, you know that for this Hanukkah service, our choir is singing. We have a lot of members of the choir absent tonight, which is a reflection of the very busy season that this actually is. Lots of people are off doing other things that they had committed to, and so we have a core group of hearty singers. And they're going to lead us in singing Ma'oz Tzur. We sang it out on the lawn. This time we'll sing it with the choir. If you're looking for the words, they are on page 669 in the prayer book. That would be in the brackets, yes, in the square blue brackets. It never ends.
Oh, it's up there. And they're on the screen.
I'm sorry?
And they're on the screen.
And they're on the screen, that's true, but I have to say the brackets thing, you know, yeah. So, Ma'oz Tzur. Are we singing it in Hebrew and English?
Yes, we are.
Are we singing both verses of the English?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
You can't ask for everything, you know.
No, all right, right. Good start. We're going to begin the service with the lighting of the candles, and before we can do that, Barbara, we have to have a little chat over here. Yes. So we have to light the Hanukkah candles first. Yes. Because if you don't do that, you wind up lighting the Hanukkah candles after Shabbat, then you're not supposed to light anything after you light the Shabbat candles. Right. Yes. So you're going to have to go all the way around over there. Okay. This is going to be very exciting. Yeah. So Barbara, wait, stay there. I'm going to move this over here for the lighting part of the ceremony. Yes. So, yes. Well, no. Wait. No, well, first you have to do this. You have to slide this up.
That's what I did.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
And that's the button that you have to press. Yeah, there's the button thing. And you have to get that right on the wick. Aha. I'll take this. And now, with the Shabbat candles, we don't sing until they're lit, but with the Hanukkah candles, we sing as we light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kichanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. And Baruch atah Adonai. Now you don't know the third one? Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. I knew you knew that.
Well, I did, but I thought that's only the first night.
Well, but we are only here this night for Hanukkah, and it's a year since we did this, so it's for us too. So I do want to say to you that the second blessing ends with the words bazman hazeh, not lazman. So she'asa nisim lavotenu, who did miracles for our ancestors, bayamim hahem, in those days, bazman hazeh, at this time, this season, bazman hazeh. And the Shehechianu says, Shehechianu, who gave us life, v'kiyamanu, and sustained us, v'higianu, and brought us, lazman hazeh, to this time. So see if you can get that straight. There will be a grammar check. There'll be a grammar check, yes. Okay. Now we can light the Shabbat candles. And we don't sing until after they're lit. Oh, you have a reading to do too. Oh, yeah. No, this is yes, you do. Oh, very good.
Okay.
It's all coming back to you.
Yes.
Oh, good.
We light a candle, and the aura glows, a luster in darkness. We are lamps, each one. Rays shine outward, the splendor grows, recalling brilliance of a desert sun. Ours is a storm-swept age when faith and courage falter. Hope flickers like a dying ember's beams. Then to light a candle makes every heart an altar, and earthbound creatures soar to capture dreams. Night turns to dawn. We see each other's face when candles of our spirit light the near and farthest place.
Right on. There you go. Keep it pressed. Do it again. That's good. Right there. There you go. Okay. Baruch at no. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. It's a busy bima tonight. Yeah. You know, if all of the Hanukkah candles were lit, the wine would be warm. Isn't there a rule about you? Yeah. So Kiddush is on page 123, and I hope that folks at home have a glass of wine to raise. I invite all of you in the sanctuary to please rise. The text for Kiddush is also, of course, on the screen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta V'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat L'chaim. And we continue with a reading which is on the screen and also on page 124 in the prayer book. Let's read together. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within the human heart, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. And we have a musical piece from the temple choir, Banu Choshech.
And we're going to continue now on page 144 with Chatzi Kaddish, which of course is also on the screen. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'alma divarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'meru Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'alam Ulal Me'almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnasei V'yithadar V'yitale V'yithalal Shmei Dekudesha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'meru. And that will bring us to page 146 for the formal opening of the service, the call to worship. Please rise for the Baruch. Lai 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 Baruch hu et Adonai hamivorach Baruch Adonai hamivorach leolam va'ed Lai 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 And we're going to continue with Ahavat Olam. And if you are looking for it in the prayer book, it's on page 150, Ahavat Olam.
And if the microphone is on, maybe not. I just wanted to mention that the last part of Ahavat Olam will be slightly different tonight. We're putting in a zippy tune for Hanukkah.
Ooh.
So,
You have to.
I thought you had it on. I thought you had it on.
Everybody heard her.
No. No. Nope, it's not working.
No, wait a minute. There it is.
There you go.
Okay, I'll say it one more time, then thank you. We are ending with the Kihem part a little differently from what we've been singing. So just be aware of that. You may know the tune anyway, okay? Thank you.
ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו Yisrael. And that brings us now to page 152 for the Shema. Please rise. Of course, the Shema and the V'ahavta will also be on the screen. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. And we continue with a reading which is on the screen. Let's read it together. It's on page 157 in the prayer book as well. Let's read. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. And we're going to, philosophically, we're going to be marching together and joining hands, but the question is, can you name that tune? Oh, good. Phew.
Thank you, Janet.
There are a couple of places in a Friday evening service or a Shabbat morning service, for that matter, where there's a little bit of flexibility with the melodies because we sing these things all year long. And it is the intention of our liturgists that we should be able to tell what day of the week it is. Is it a weekday or Shabbat? We should be able to tell whether it's a morning or an evening service we've stumbled into. And we should be able to tell what season of the year it is just by paying attention to the service itself. And if you know the codes, it's all there. It really is. And Micha Mocha is one of the places where we have flexibility, and we do try to sing the text to seasonal melodies. There are other seasonal melodies at this time of the year, which you might have heard. I don't know. If you go to the grocery store these days, you might hear them. Other seasonal melodies to which Micha Mocha and in particular, Adon Olam can be sung, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use our own seasonal melodies. And we're going to continue on page 161, where we are going to read together at the top of the page. So let's read. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, porei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And now we're going to sing Hashkivenu. will continue now with the central prayer of our service, the Amidah, the prayer said standing. And before we actually get into it, I want to call a few things to your attention. I'd like you to look on page 166 in the prayer book, if you have one there. And page 166 speaks of God using the words, the great, mighty, and awesome God, Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanorah. And some of those words recur in some of the Hanukkah songs, Gibor in particular. Mi Yimalel Gvurot Yisrael, Gibor, Gvurot, did you hear it? There's a relationship there. And I'd like you also to look on page 168. And this is the prayer that is called the Gevurot, the prayer about God's might. And it contains the line, it lists the things that God does, and it says, Somech Noflim, who supports those who have fallen, Verofei Cholim, and heals those who are ill. And here's the one I wanted you to pay attention to, Umatir Asurim, and frees the captive. And that's in our liturgy every time we say the Amidah, and traditionally the Amidah is said 3 times a day, 365 days a year. We always say Matir Asurim, who frees the captive, because there is a long-standing history of the Jewish people of people being taken captive from our community and held for ransom. And there are many stories dating from the Crusades and even later about Jewish communities being essentially held up to pay for the release of a captive, and very often just one captive, but a very large amount of money. So this is a prayer that has been part of our liturgy for a very long time, and doesn't it feel very appropriate right now? Yes. And so there is another place where that same appropriateness occurs, and that's at the end of the Amidah, and that's on page 180, and it's at the very end of the silent prayer. It says, Lema'an yechaltzun yedidecha, so that your loved ones may be rescued. Right? So we don't have to write prayers now for the current situation. We have been saying them for eons. Is that a comfort? No. No, it is not. But the comfort is that our people not only said those things under these kinds of circumstances before, but didn't take the words out in the intervening years. We have been praying this way for a long time. So we're going to turn back now to page 164. Please rise for the Amidah. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagite hilatecha. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagite hilatecha. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, Ufi Tehillatcha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer Moshia Umagen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Loshia Mashiva Ruach Umorida Gashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot Nido Melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata L'Hachayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh Ukdoshim B'chol Yom Yahalelucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. And we continue on page 173. Let's read together. It's on the screen as well, of course. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. And we're going to continue with Yismechu.
Okay, so the mic is working. Our Yismechu is the same one that you know, except it's a choral version. So Shabbat is not held, it's very fast. Shahabbat, okay? Shahabbat. Sorry, Rabbi.
No, next week it'll be different. Yeah. Shomrei, 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 Shabbat. just like that, it ends. And we're going to continue on page 175. The reading is on the screen. Please read with me. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers, and there may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadcha be'ira na'avod. Now we're going to turn to page 176, and we often read the text on 176, and we skip a little line in the middle of the page. So if you look at that page in the prayer book, if you have a prayer book, you'll notice that in the middle of the page it says, on Hanukkah, turn. This is it. This is the one night a year that we read what this is about. And we will turn to the appointed page and read the special insertion for Hanukkah. So let's read together, and then when we have to turn, we will, and we'll continue. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. And we're turning now to page 556. It's on the screen. And we're going to read together. The text at the beginning of it is, in Hebrew, is Al Hanisim, for the miracles. So let's read together. We thank you for the miracles, for the redemption, for the mighty deeds and saving acts brought about by you, and for the wars which you waged for our ancestors in the days of old at this season. And we continue. In the days of the Hasmoneans, Mattathias ben Yochanan, the high priest, and his children, when the evil government of Greece rose up against your people Israel to make them forget your Torah and to make them leave the laws of your will, in your great mercy you rose up with them in their time of trouble and fought in their fight, judged their cause just. You delivered the mighty into the hands of the weak, the many into the hands of the few, the unclean into the hands of the pure, the evil into the hands of the righteous, and the arrogant into the hands of those who engage in your Torah. For you made a great and holy name in your world, and for your people Israel you brought about the great triumph and redemption on that very day, when your children came to the Holy of Holies and emptied your temple and purified your holy place and lit candles in your holy courts and established these 8 days of Hanukkah, grateful to acknowledge and to praise your great name. And now we go back to page 176. And we read together. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lohodot. And we're going to continue on page 671 with the singing of Light One Candle. And there are the words on the screen as well. don't know about you, but I found those words very interesting tonight. Quite. And we're going to take this opportunity to pray privately. The traditional text is on page 180, and the translation of it is on the screen. At this point in the service, we normally turn to the Mishaberach, the prayer for the sick. And for these many weeks, we have been praying on some occasions for the members of the IDF, the Israel Defense Force, and we have been praying for the hostages and for their families and for the medical personnel and the caregivers and so on and so forth. We have a long list of the things that we pray for, and we say, Lu Yehi, let it be, Kol Shenivakesh, all that we ask for, Lu Yehi, let it be. And we're going to hear that now. This is the same piece that those of you who were in the sanctuary last week heard. Unfortunately, the live stream didn't happen, and we know there are fans of Cantor Ozzy Schwartz out there who will appreciate this as much as we did last week. This is Cantor Ozzy Schwartz from the Park Avenue Synagogue when he was visiting Israel some years ago with members of the Park Avenue congregation, and he sang this prayer, this song, Lu Yehi, if it would only be. Let's go to the music.
פס לבן באופק, מול ענן שחור כבד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. ואם בחלונות הערב אור נרות החג רועד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. מה קול ענות אני שומע, קול שופר וקול תופים, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לא תשמע בתוך כל אלה גם תפילה אחת מפי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי.
Lu Yehi. Well, now we are going to turn to the opportunity to pray for the sick, and we start, as always, with members of the congregation. This Shabbat, we are offering prayers for Beverly Adler, Robert Berg, Shirley Bergman, Ed Birkin, Elaine Bialer, Barry Brown, Andrea Chasen, Freda Cohen, Marianne Fink, Batsheva Sarah Gamaran, Richard Hoffing, Liz Jacobs, Marcia Katz, Verdna Kelly, Carolyn Corlin, Wilma Levine, Marvin Lutzker, Marlis Markovitz, Paula Newberger, Ron Newberger, Susan Pernick, Leslie Rapkin, Yuri Reingold, Fanny Reese, Cliff Reese, Betty Sarlin, Betty Scher, Jacqueline Schindler, Mark Schoenholtz, Maxine Schoenholtz, Barry Schwartz, Joe Sheff, Jeff Sturm, Norman Toff, Ruth Turchin, Don Zion, Stanley Zarofsky, Leslie Zwain, Amit Ben Shirley, Ariel Bat Rivka, Ariella Bat Shoshana, Beryl Bat Rachel, Chana Pesa Bat Golda, Hanan Rachmel Ben Leah, Chava Bat Esther Malka, Chaya Esther Bat Chana, Devorah Bat Ruth, Devorah Bat Sarah, Esther Badana Bat Shena Malka, Fega Devosher Bat Bracha, Henya Rachel Bat Sarah, Heshlev Ben Devorah, Yosef Shmuel Ben Bertha, Leb Shalom Ben Fagel, Manya Bat Fredel, Masha Bat Esther, Masha Sura Bat Chana, Menachem Ben Frima, Mendele Bat Frima, Miriam Bat Thelma, Mordechai Ben Sarah, Moshe Hersh Ben Rachel, Pesach Lev Ben Sarah, Sarah Mindel Bat Chana Leah, Bracha Bat Shirley, Shalom Ben Pesel, Shaul Yochanan Ben Sarah, Shena Bracha Bat Yehudit, Shena Leah Bat Devorah, Shirley Bat Sarah, Shulamit Bat Tzila, Cyril Reza Bat Esther, Velvel Ben Hindabela, and Yonatan Ben Chassia. Now I'm going to ask you to take a few moments and to offer prayers for the people who are on your own personal Mishaberach list. And as you do that, I'm going to suggest to you that you articulate the names silently so that you're actually praying for specific people as you do that. Please take the next few moments for that. while we're praying, let's offer prayers for the people of the Ukraine. Let's offer prayers for people, particularly in this country, but all over the world, who are dealing with violence and the after effects of violence, particularly gun violence. Let's pray this week for those Jewish kids on campuses all over this country being confronted in what is ostensibly their home by anti-Semitism. Let's pray for people all over the world dealing with the effects of climate change. Let's offer prayers for the little country of Israel. Let's offer prayers for our own country. And let's offer prayers for our planet. And now, the Mishaberach. When I first came to this congregation 10 years ago, louder? You want me to talk louder? Okay. When I first came to this congregation 10 years ago, I did some teaching, and it went reasonably well. And then it came to Hanukkah, and it was a golden opportunity to do some more teaching. Didn't go so well. So for those of you who have been traumatized low these 10 years, brace yourselves. Yeah, here it comes. But there's a logic to it, so bear with me, please. Despite what we read in the prayer that is the special insertion for Hanukkah, there is a dissonance in what we observe. I want to go back to that for a moment. That's page 556, I think it is. Yes. And it's a very strange page in the prayer book because the people who put this book together, I don't know what they were doing. But what's really interesting in this, in the reading that we did a few minutes ago, and it's on page 556, it talks about you delivered the mighty into the hands of the weak, the many into the hands of the few, the unclean into the hands of the pure, the evil into the hands of the righteous, it's so on and so forth. And when your children came to the Holy of Holies and emptied your temple and purified your holy place and lit candles in your holy court and established these 8 days of Hanukkah, what was missing from that narrative? The little jug of oil. There is no reference to it in the prayer, which is the prayer for Hanukkah. Now, there's a reason for that. And the reason is that the story was not originally about a little jug of oil. It was about the Maccabees fighting for the Judeans against the Greeks. And the Greeks were by far a much more sophisticated army, a much more experienced army. The Maccabees were a little ragtag bunch of guys whose main profession was slaughtering animals and offering them up as sacrifices. And along comes a war, and they fought the war. And they fought the war over the summer. And when it came to Rosh Hashanah, they took the day off. They didn't fight when Rosh Hashanah came, because you can take one day off, right? You can take one day off. It's not at the end of the world. 10 days later, they took another day off, called Yom Kippur. And you can do that too. But what follows next, 4 days after Yom Kippur, is Sukkot. And how long is Sukkot? How many? How many days? 8 days. Isn't that amazing? 8 days. Well, you don't take 8 days off a war, folks. And they did not. And when they defeated the Greeks, they threw the Greeks out of town, and they went in and did it what that prayer says. They cleaned out the temple. The Greeks had brought in all manner of trafe and all manner of disgusting stuff, and it took them days to get rid of everything. They also had a menorah, not this kind of a menorah, but bigger than this one, bigger than the one that's outside, that they needed to light. And it was a 7-branched candelabra. Not 8, but 7. Why 7? 7 days of the week. Yes, it was about the week. And so they needed oil for that. What was oil in those days? It was certainly olive oil. And how do you get olive oil? First you beat the olives off the trees, and then you have to put them on a grinder and grind the olives till the oil comes out, and then you have to filter the oil, and you have to continue to filter the oil till you really have pure oil, and that's what they needed. It takes time to produce properly qualified, that is to say kosher, oil for the candelabra, for the menorah that stood in the temple. And it took them a few days to do that, but they did, and they lit the menorah, and that's the end of the story. And that was how they dedicated the sanctuary. They rededicated it. What does the word Hanukkah mean? dedication. So that's what it was. They rededicated the menorah and the rest of the building. The following year, oh no, I'm sorry, that year, when they rededicated the sanctuary, somebody said, you know, fellas, we missed Sukkot. We now have to go back and make those offerings. And they did. Once the temple had been purified, they did. And how many days was Sukkot again? 8 days, yeah. You beginning to see something happening here? 8 days? The following year, when the date of Hanukkah came along, this is the 25th day of the month of Kislev, people said, you know, we had quite a celebration last year when we rededicated the temple, and we should do that again. And it was a great time of year to do it because there was no place to go. It was pitch black from the late afternoon on, so you might as well go to the temple and have some sort of a celebration. And they did. And there is no reference in any of the earliest material to a story about a little jug of oil. No reference at all. However, Hanukkah seems not to have been a big success as a holiday. And it seems that during the Roman occupation of Judea, it kind of fell into the doldrums, shall we say. And when our sages were writing what we call the Talmud, and they were putting together a section on the various occasions of the Jewish calendar, somebody said, oh yeah, but there's also Hanukkah. And this is really wonderful. What it says in the Talmud in respect of Hanukkah, it says, Hanukkah Mai. Hanukkah, what's that? And it seems that people had not been celebrating Hanukkah, and so they had to explain what it was. And it is in that context that we get this first telling of the story of the little jug of oil. And the reason that we get that is that, think about this for a moment. The Maccabees fought off the Greeks, and they were successful, and that was in the year 167 down to year 165 BCE, okay? And the Greeks were gone. The Maccabees governed Judea. They didn't do a good job of it. The Romans came in and took over. Ultimately, in the year 70, the Judeans rebelled against the Romans, and you know what happened in that war? A brutal loss. The temple was destroyed. But there were still some Jews in Judea, and 70 years later, 135 CE, there was another rebellion against Rome. And that was an even more brutal loss because the Jews were expelled from Judea as a consequence. And now we're fast forward a couple of 100 years, and we have the sages of the Talmud talking to each other about my Hanukkah. What is it? And they didn't want the Judeans who might be around, or anybody else for that matter, to start yet another war against the Romans. 3 strikes and that's not a good thing. So let's just deflect attention from the military aspect of the holiday. And it became a story about a miracle. The miracle of the little jug of oil. Okay? And that's where the story comes from. That's the rationale behind it. And you notice in the blessing that we said, there was no reference to a little jug of oil, right? You would think if this went way back to the actual event, there would have to be a reference. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you expect that? Yeah, but it's not there. Because it seems to have been something the rabbis created. Now, the critical question is why? And the answer is this. Yes, the rabbis didn't want to have yet another brutal loss at the hands of the Romans, but they also did not want to celebrate militarism. They did not want to make it all about being better at brutality than somebody else. And so they focused it on the spiritual aspect, on a miracle and light. That was a brilliant idea. And that has been our position ever since. We Jews have not owned our own country until 75 years ago, not since they were kicked out, right? And for the most part, we were never permitted in the countries where we lived to bear arms. Up until the Napoleonic era, Napoleon himself inquired of the rabbis of France, could Jews bear arms and be relied upon to fight for France instead of fighting for themselves in some respect, or joining up with their brethren who are Germans? The Jews of France had family in Germany. That was obvious, and it was true. And it was always suspected that the Jews would be more loyal to themselves than to the country where they lived, and they had been forbidden to bear arms in those countries. And the rabbis of France said, you know what, we're French Jews. Yes, of course we would be loyal to our country. And they were able to serve in the French army. And that's how the barriers came down, and Jews began to serve in the armies of the countries where they lived. But we do not have a long history of military victories. And we do not have a long history of celebrating militarism, which makes it all the more troubling to find ourselves where we are today. This goes very much against the grain that the rabbis of the Talmud established when they told us a story about a little jug of oil. Because we have learned to value peace and tranquility, and we have learned that militarism is not our way of doing things. And here we are. And I don't know about you, but every time I read the updates about what's going on between Israel and Hamas, I am proud of and grateful to the IDF for their accomplishments, and heartsick that it's going on. But still proud and grateful. And I think it's especially important for us on Hanukkah, which really is about a military victory, folks. That's what it really was about. I think it's especially important for us to remember that little jug of oil. That's not who we are. It's not what we're fighting for. It may be what we're fighting about, but it's not what we're fighting for. And the little jug of oil represents what we fight for. The light. Don't let the light go out. That's what it's all about. We're going to continue on page 586 with the Aleinu. Please rise. Of course, it's on the screen as well. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו Ushprinatu zo begovhei meromim. Hu Eloheinu ein od. Emet malkeinu efesulato. Kakatuv b'torato. V'yadata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha. Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim b'shamayim imal v'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od. And we read together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the star that lights up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. This Shabbat, the congregation is remembering Solomon Basson, father of Jay Basson, Milton Kessler, father of Nancy Binder, Evelyn Steele Courage, grandmother of Mark Courage, Gregory Dean Fox, nephew of Mark Courage, William Holtz, father of Winifred Goldklang, Robert Greenfield, father of Andrew Greenfield, Edith Baum, mother of Barbara Grossman, Adele Lipoff, mother of Judith Hilvitz, Elaine Gass, sister of Hildy Klein, Robert Reese, father of Cliff Reese, Mary Friedman, mother of Laura Bruderfors, Hyman B. Rosenzweig, father of Rachel Rosenzweig, Donna Rothman, mother of Jules Rothman, Robert Rubin, husband of Ida Lee Rubin, Abraham Block, father of Janet Singer, Phyllis Weiss, sister of Harvey Weiss, Gerald Weiss, brother of Harvey Weiss, Samuel Gibson, Rose David, Gladys Woolfield, Shirley Jones, Edna Hirsch Pellegrino, Shirley Slutsky, and Jane DeFreitas. And we begin counting Shloshim this week for congregant Jeffrey Rosenfeld, who passed away a week ago. Kaddish is now on the screen and on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach irutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam l'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Please be seated. Everybody's favorite moment, announcements.
Thank you to Rabbi Carla for her fine service tonight. Thank you to our amazing tech team, volunteers, for streaming tonight's service. And a big thank you to our great temple choir. I thought this was a very lovely service, especially with their singing. There will be a Torah service tomorrow from 10 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. After the Torah service, there will be a potluck lunch, followed by Torah study from noon to 1:30 p.m. Classes next week will be listed in an email sent out by Rabbi Carla.
Yep.
The deadline to reserve a seat for the meet and greet and or the performance with Rabbi Bob Alper is Friday, December 15th. Information and details may be found in our Shalom News. The Men's Club will be holding our next fantastic Bagels and Discovery on Sunday, January 14th with the radio broadcaster from our own Tampa Bay Rays baseball team. It should be amazing. As our speaker, it will continue to be our bundle your own bagel with all the trimmings. More details will follow in the next Shalom News and emails. Save the date for Beth Israel's first Bark Mitzvah. For members only, but they're pets. For members only on January 21. All pets and their owners are welcome. We don't want all just the pets, we want the owners too. It will be a fun time with photos by our own Rick Reingold. On behalf of our Men's Club, I want to wish everyone an enjoyable Hanukkah season. The Men's Club is sponsoring the last night lighting of our outside Hanukkah on Wednesday at 5:25 p.m. with singing by our own Rabbi Carla. Plus,
Oh, good.
plus, I will personally bring packets of Pepperidge Farm Milano dark chocolate cookies with me. And
Hey, wait a minute. Are those fried in oil?
sure. And
Why
I will
not?
also bring Dunkin' Donuts
Ah,
The
those
sh-
are fried in oil, yes.
to share with all of you. Please come and join us. That's Wednesday at 5:25. Tonight's Oneg, anything to add to that?
Yes, actually, I do want to add to that. Tomorrow, Sunday, we have our Hanukkah party, which the Men's Club and the Sisterhood are sponsoring, and we're going to have some fun with that, and we always do, so you should join us. And I do want to tell you that we have a very significant investment in latkes. Yes, so, and these are homemade latkes, not your store-bought stuff, you know. Huh? No. The store browns are, yeah, these are really, really homemade, and they're, yes, so do come, yes. Yes, Rochelle's daughter made them. She did. 125 latkes. 150? Oh, the number changes every time I hear it. Yeah, soon it'll be a little jug of oil story too, yeah. Go ahead.
And the rabbi will sing again Sunday.
You shouldn't tell people things like that. That's not fair.
Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Jacqueline Schindler to celebrate her 92nd birthday. Is Jacqueline here?
Yes, she is.
Raise your hand.
There's Jacqueline, right there.
Raise your hand.
There's
Okay.
Jacqueline. Yes.
Happy birthday, Jacqueline.
Yes. We're going to sing happy birthday to Jacqueline in the other room. Okay?
We wish Jacqueline a very happy birthday. The Oneg will be held in the social hall immediately following our service. Please join us, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to sing some upbeat stuff here to bring the service to an end.
Yes. Am I on now? Yes. Yay. We're going to do a Ladino piece for those folks that are Sephardic. Ocho candelicas, all right? And meaning 8 beautiful candles 8 little candles for me. And then I'm not going to even tell you what the last number is, because you know it's Rabbi's favorite. Okay.
Yep.
So don't leave after the first one.
To the choir and to our wonderful conductor of the choir. Thank you, Joan. All right, folks, join us in the social hall for some many treats so we can sing happy birthday to Jacqueline Schindler.
Shalom and goodbye because I'm taking